Tuesday, March 6th. Good morning, everybody. I'm BVG. It's the 359 podcast, episode 365. Your hosts today are Alfred Ng and Roger Cheng. And what the hell are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
The internet is terrible. That's what we're talking
Pretty
about.
much it, yeah. So
Good thing we're in the right place.
it's not all terrible. We're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Twitter and the right way to use Twitter. Alfred has some nice tips. We'll also be talking about flying cars. Porsche making a flying car. That's exciting.
It's the goofiest thing I've ever
know.
seen.
And then-
But they're Porsche, so they can do it.
And then lastly, we'll be talking about the new Surface Pro with LTE. CNET has a new review on it, but we really want to talk about whether or not we really want a separate cellular connection to our laptops and tablets.
I would like it. Let's save it for the show.
Yeah, all right. I think I know your answer. Anyway, if you have any questions on these topics, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we'll get to them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
From 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Alfred Ng.
So apparently there is a right way and a wrong way to share and quote tweet on Twitter. Alfred, you broke it down. It's basically why some quote tweets are really terrible for the internet.
Yeah, so this happened in mid-February when all these conspiracy theories about the Parkland students were going around, and then people were basically quote tweeting them where they were basically like, "This is wrong. Don't like this. Why
So
are you
these
doing this?"
basically they're quote tweeting these tweets about allegations that these students weren't actually students there, right?
Yeah, that they were crisis actors. But the idea was they quote tweeted it so they could, basically say this is wrong and we're against this. But by doing that, they ended up actually getting it way more views than it ever would have gotten.
Yep.
It's kind of like drawing attention to something that you really don't want, are against.
Right.
So, I saw all this and I'm just thinking, why are you even quote tweeting or engaging with them in the first place? Just take a screenshot. Like, if you look at my Twitter feed, anytime I criticize something, it's almost always a screenshot, and I never put a link out to it.
So it's just you're feeding into the machine whenever you quote tweet.
Yeah, because a lot of the way social media works is that, they don't have, analysis of, intent. They don't say, oh, this person retweeted this or, responded to it because they hate it.
Right.
They just responded to it, and we're going to boost it up. Facebook and Twitter both work that way, where as long as it gets engagement, it's more likely to appear in your feed.
Obviously with Russia in the headlines, Russian trolls and the Internet Research Agency, how much do they kind of bank on this action?
That's the majority of their operations. It's how many people can we get hot and bothered on social media?
So then they'll quote tweet, they'll outrage quote tweet, and they'll just propel this thing even further.
Yeah, they had done this in Ukraine too when they kind of tested out their trolling program.
Yeah.
Where it was essentially they would go and comment on a bunch of stuff with really controversial stuff, and then all these other people would come and argue on it, and then it just bump up to the top of everyone's newsfeed. So if you have to engage and if you have to criticize something, don't just don't even bother responding. Just take a screenshot of it and then just talk about it on your own feed.
There you go. Another case where social media ruins everything. All right. So on a brighter note, Porsche apparently is making a flying car. Yep, an executive confirmed to CNET that the sports car maker is indeed working on this. Forget autonomous driving. Porsche wants to take to the skies. So do you think this is going to spur a new trend with automakers? Is this just some sort of random one-off?
This is so random. It's just out of nowhere. It's oh, by the way, we got flying cars. And it's just why would you even think about, if you're going to make a flying thing that somebody can sit in and travel in, just do it as a drone or what everyone else is doing, because that makes a lot more sense for flying than this 2-ton heap of
I don't
metal.
know if it's it kind of reminds me of that old cartoon Mask with a sports car with the doors flip open and turn into wings. I kind of want that.
I did that with all my toy cars.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I just think of something from Blade Runner though, with the flying cars in 2049.
Right.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought of, but I saw that's our own art on it, so it's not what Porsche is trying to do.
No,
but it's
no.
just, I don't know. I highly doubt it. They said they're planning for something around 2025. Good luck.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, CNET just reviewed the Surface Pro with LTE. Alfred, would you pay for a separate connection to your tablet or computer?
It depends how much, but most likely no. They already offer that for a lot of tablets, and it doesn't make any sense to me when I can just, use my phone that I already pay a wireless connection for as a hotspot for it.
It's funny though, because those connected iPads with LTE are pretty popular, but it's for whatever reason when it comes to PCs, it's been a harder sell. I don't really know why.
I think because most of the times people associate PCs with something like, oh, I can just connect to Wi-Fi here. And if you think about, I guess it's different because we're in New York, but like there's Wi-Fi like everywhere. Yeah,
That's true. Yep. All right, if you're at an airport newsstand, check out the latest issue of CNET Magazine featuring Modern Family's Jesse Tyler Ferguson. For more of these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Thanks for listening.
Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, I want a car like that. I want a hover car.
Flying cars don't make any.
Hover.
Flying
It's not
Not a
cars,
hover.
like,
Like it's not a hover.
No, I
yeah,
don't
flying
know.
cars don't make
flying
any
car.
sense to me. Only because like I feel like nobody's ever addressed like traffic in any of these sci-fi movies with flying cars.
Everyone just sort of follows the flow of the
it's
traffic.
just like everyone
man.
has their own lane all of a sudden, and I'm like,
No, if you notice, usually that there are like lanes. Like there's usually kind of like this like batch of cars going all kind of in the same vicinity, right? You
It's-
see lanes of flying
yeah,
cars.
but like if it's flying though, then you can literally just like get out of it and then go
Well,
like in a,
yeah, presumably though, I mean the same logic applies with streets, right? Like, well, technically I can just drive off the
yeah,
road
but
if
there's
I
like
want to, but people
pedestrians
don't.
and stuff on the street, but like in the sky,
There are buildings and there needs to
Sure.
there needs to be clear roadways
It's-
in the sky, or else you crash into everyone.
yeah, I don't know,
Huh.
yeah, flying cars are weird.
I like seeing them in sci-fi movies.
Can there really be traffic in the sky?
That's
I mean,
the thing.
What's
I
the
can go
thing?
twice as high.
It's reading rainbow.
Yes, there can be if there are enough cars.
I
There could be
suppose,
traffic.
but I mean, like we handle it. I don't know. I'm gonna get crucified for saying this, but we handle traffic all right here on the ground.
Well,
add
that's the
a
thing.
Add the third dimension.
No.
and-
But we have roads and streets. We have designated areas where cars go. I'm just saying there are probably going to be designated areas in the sky where cars have to go. There's certain lanes.
And then what
right?
happens in like a if you're in a flying car and you get in a car accident, like what happens there? Do you have
So
to
screwed,
land
man.
or do you hover there and then you just yell out your insurance information at like the other person who's also in the air
I
with
imagine
you?
you'd have to land. It just seems a lot easier to get out, be able to talk to someone in person.
I'm just thinking about like hit and runs. with
Oh
flying cars
yeah,
now,
that's
too.
gonna be way worse.
Cops
But
Police
all the
chases.
flying cars will look awesome because Porsche's making them. That's just exciting.
and like all three people will be able
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
ride
you got
it.
an affinity for Porsche? I never
I
thought
like-
they were
I
all
like-
that pretty
I
a car.
I like Porsches.
Don't get me wrong, they got it where it counts, but I was just like, oh, they're not that
I mean, I like that
attractive looking.
illustration from our resident photo genius Andy Hoyle.
Is this
the flying car?
Yeah, the
Come
header
on.
was.
That's pretty sweet.
Is this
That
the
was
first time we've
genius.
talked about cars on this show?
I think it is. We're none of us are really car folks.
Yeah,
so-
we're not qualified to talk about cars.
That's
but
why-
we are
that's why the-
qualified to get excited about flying in one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why the only reason we're talking about this because it's a flying car. If this was a regular car, we wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah, we're not allowed. Let's jump into the chat. Steve Marino says, I couldn't resist this one, Alfred. Maybe your retweets are ruining the interwebs. Mine are fresh AF.
Yeah,
there
that's
you
the thing.
go.
Like, some retweets are pretty good. Like, there's a lot of good retweets out there.
But you're just trying to show that there are consequences and how the algorithm is flawed.
My point is, like, don't get yourself in like a Wile E. Coyote situation where it like just backfires in your face. Where it's like, I hate this thing so much. Everybody, look at this thing that I hate. And
Yeah.
oh, oops. Turns out that I actually ended up helping it. Like, because that happens a lot.
Yeah,
And
it does.
And it's just that's my
Rage
point.
posting is like you have to ignore the impulse to rage post. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people do that.
And if you do have to do it, then just take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Like the screenshots are so much more efficient. They don't like help out the person that you're trying to criticize or anything like that.
It's
And
just giving you your own numbers.
yeah, and you like can do so much more with screenshots. Just screenshot everything. I mean that's what a lot of like Instagram. If you like, do you ever just see Twitter post on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Occasionally.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just people taking screenshots and posting it there, and then
Yes.
getting all the likes for themselves instead of like actually helping out
That's true.
the person.
You know what
'cause
else I've
they're
noticed?
jerks.
How all these systems are so broken. Instagram has the stories feature now, and the stories feature is always just, I made a new post, go see it.
Yeah.
Because the timeline is so screwed.
Right.
When are we going to fix this? Like,
I mean,
social
I-
media sucks now.
I like stories though. I like it because
When they're actually original, there's plenty of applications where they're legit, but most of the time, anything I follow, all their story is, by the way, I made a real post. You got to go find it now.
Right, right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about.
get
It's
you're
like
saying it basically solves the kind of broken system that is the actual Instagram feed, right?
So
Yeah.
why couldn't we
Yeah.
just run chronology?
Well, yeah, that makes too much sense.
It
Brian.
does make too much
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, when Twitter did away with that, people were annoyed. I'm still pissed about it, but I don't know.
I do kind of want to learn more about the what Twitter is going to do to address this algorithm? And do we have any information on that?
Well, yeah, they Jack Dorsey, Twitter CEO, last week he had put out a series of tweets talking about basically, hey, we know what we're doing is wrong here. We didn't really expect for people to take advantage of our algorithm like that. We're working on fixing this. And then at the end there was like an open call. If anyone has any ideas, please like do it like
Because we've got none.
yeah, please post it here at this website. It's in my story. I don't remember the URL off the top of my head. But yeah, he's like crowdsourcing for advice now on this thing. So
I feel like it's the same message every time this comes up. It's like, oh, we're sorry, we're very sorry, we're trying to work on the algorithm,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna send my article in the suggestion feed. Just give us
There you go.
give them a screenshotting tool that they can just use like within the Twitter app itself.
That's smart.
That's not a bad idea at all.
That's a great idea.
I mean, even if Twitter doesn't want to implement it, I bet one of the browsers could. I bet Chrome would do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can already do screenshots and like draw on them on like Edge, but
Right,
no
but,
one
like-
uses Edge, so
Right.
no one would know that.
I'm just saying, like, custom filter it so it's like, tweet size kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very temporary, so
Yeah.
you're not even worried
I mean,
about
that would be great for
cluttering.
Twitter to implement, or any of those social networks, right? So, yeah.
All right, next question coming in from Scott Myatt. Data plans for laptop tablets don't sound good to me, as full network coverage from my phone is still not there. So why pay extra
Yeah.
if the network coverage that's not there?
Yeah, if your network coverage is not great, then this is not a good
It's
deal
not
for you.
helping,
I would
obviously.
argue, even if network coverage is great, it may not even be that because of what Alfred said. Like, Wi-Fi is pretty ubiquitous, and you're not really always on the go. I guess, if you spend time on the train and a commute, maybe that might be helpful to you. But I don't know. You could also pay for a hotspot capability on your phone.
Yeah, I really don't know why people would get a laptop just with LTE or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, we've got plenty. I mean, you guys go out in the field all the time and do your reporting. If
Yeah.
the coverage was there, this would be a valuable. But,
Yeah, because
no?
I usually don't bring my laptop with me when I do like field reporting anyway.
No,
I mean,
you
I
rely
do.
mostly on your mobile, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like to write a story, like you're not
Yeah.
like there writing as you're
I'm
walking.
not saying
or
writing,
anything.
but
Like,
they're
Well, no,
probably,
if I'm at a press conference.
okay,
Yeah,
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 there's
yeah,
usually
yeah.
Wi-Fi at those things.
That's the thing. Like, Wi-Fi is not always 100% at these events,
Yeah.
especially if you got a lot of people using the same network. So sometimes I have a hotspot capability on my phone, so I just use that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
It would be nice to have it built into my laptop so I don't drain the battery on my phone.
Yeah,
that's a good
fair.
point.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's plenty of instances too where you're not in a controlled conference type situation.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
could be out at some street level kind of event kind of thing going on. I don't even know
Although
an
I would
example.
say,
But I wouldn't have my laptop.
yeah,
usually
that's the
for
thing.
something
I would
like
probably
that.
be
Fair
like
enough.
banging out a quick email on my phone
Yeah.
as opposed to typing on my laptop.
All right.
Like thinking about like I usually cover like iPhone releases and
Yeah.
I'm on the line talking to people. Usually, yeah, like Roger knows, I'll send notes on my phone and then like we'll have a story up like based on that.
You're right.
I'm not gonna be there with my laptop like typing the story as I'm talking to people or anything like that.
That's a good point. I was trying to think that you guys might be into more situations where it might be more valuable, but we do want to know if anyone else out there in Chatland has situations where they think this could be valuable to them. I personally don't want this because they never let me leave this office anyways, so that's just
I mean, I guess it depends on how much it costs. If it's like $5, like I'll think about it. But yeah,
There's also limitations to the data plans too, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're not, you're not streaming movies nonstop. Oh, what is this? What?
DC417 is my new favorite person in the chat.
What's the comment?
Data plan. Lisa needs braces. Data plan. Lisa needs braces. If you're ever wondering, Simpsons quotes always win me over. And while we're at it and completely distracted, thank you, Eli, for congratulations on our 365 podcasts. We love doing it. It's
Hey,
always fun.
thanks. It's always great to reach this milestone.
now you can listen to a 359 podcast every day for a full year.
That's what he's saying is, yeah, we could do one for
Ah.
every day of the year. So just thank you for that, and always thank you for everybody for being here and joining us.
Yeah.
Josh Boyd, flying cars are actually really impractical if you think about it. If you need a full-on flight plan just to figure out landing and takeoff.
Yo,
Did they really
exactly.
go into a lot of detail
No.
about how the
No.
system could
Not
potentially?
at
They're just
all.
like, well, this thing can get
We're-
off the ground.
It's almost as
Basically.
if CEOs can just say crazy things and then get like headlines.
know.
This
No.
would need like an entire new division of government, though, like
Yeah.
international government to handle.
Well, there are recreational planes now that you can actually just fly. You can basically, when you're not in a major city or near an airport, the skies are fairly clear. Like as long as you're at a certain elevation.
But if that starts to become a consumer level
Yeah.
product, that will change.
This is by the way, I like the Icon A5. It's a consumer plane. People just take it up as a hobby, like rather than a boat. You've got a plane that you fly. So I don't know. I think early on there's probably going to be some experimentation, but you're right. There will definitely need to be regulations down the line.
Okay. Danny Green brings up a good point. A lot of people don't trust public Wi-Fi, so perhaps being tethered to your LTE,
Danny,
again, you know where you are.
Danny, my boy, that is a fantastic point. Public Wi-Fi is, obviously.
My boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of
there are a lot of
security issues
there.
with it.
Right, an LTE connection would, more. You'd be a lot more confident with an LTE connection.
Also,
right?
I just feel like it's kind of silly to get an LTE connected laptop now, considering that like 5G will probably be available soon.
Whoa. Let's slow our horses down. 5Gs. Yeah, they say it'll be available like late this year, early next year, but it's not really gonna be broadly available. It's gonna be like available in like 5-6.
I just feel like it's like buying like a VHS player in like
like right before the
yeah.
Yeah, but LTE is gonna be around for like
millennial.
another
They're
decade.
called VCRs.
What, the player itself?
It's called a video cassette recorder. It's a VCR.
Oh, whatever.
They didn't exist when he was alive. So.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
It makes my skin crawl when they call them VHS
Yeah.
players.
I wouldn't say
that's
like we need to wait for 5G because like built-in 5G laptops are probably a ways away.
But I'm saying you already have Wi-Fi now, so like why would you? It's kind of goofy.
It's not like LTE is gonna go away though.
Yeah. But it's like I know it's not gonna go away, but like I'd rather have the one that's capable of
the
5G.
5G. Yeah.
Let's talk about cars again. I like this comment from Gerard Glynn. If cars start flying, they must be at least some kind of autonomous, and it has to be standardized.
Yeah.
Users should have a special license to be able to put their car in manual in flight mode. I can't imagine like any world where we can't exist with a special license to fly. Period.
It's just
whether you're controlling it or not.
Why is everybody so interested in flying cars when it's clear? Like there was the previous comment you had noted about how like cars are impractical. Yeah, you should have flying motorcycles first, okay? Like just it's way lighter.
It's really cold up there, man.
It's much lighter, and then you can like look. I watched Akira, man. That movie, like with the little like copter cycles or whatever.
Wait, Akira?
Yeah.
That was not an Akira.
Yeah, it was. They when they were in the tunnel or whatever. They had the flying.
Oh, the security bikes.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
They did hover.
Yeah, dude.
I just kept thinking about the main bike. You're
Did
right.
you really? They did kind of straight up fly, didn't they?
Yeah.
They actually raised in altitude. You're right.
Yeah, they should have those first, man. Like forget the cars.
Are those like hover bikes or are they like actual
they
legit
flew around? And
No,
stuff,
they
yeah.
they definitely increased in altitude and got off the ground. So
Okay.
yeah, I'd call them flying bikes.
Yeah, we should have
Well,
flying
I
bikes
guess we
first.
could talk to Harley Davidson about that.
Yeah, and then before that, maybe flying horse and carriage. I know like somebody in Greece has done it before. Like,
Flying steamboat.
Yeah. We gotta like
Baby steps.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Got to reset the entire system, and you got to start flying with like
Horse and buggy.
Yeah,
Flying
horse and buggy, flying
chariots.
sleds. Yeah, chariot. Oh, geez. All right, we are just about out of time, but let's talk about Wi-Fi a little bit more. One more from Scott Myatt. If you pay for data through the tablet, would that make the connection more secure compared to Wi-Fi? Could you implement other software measures, perhaps? This is me riffing on Scott's question. Are there even more securities to the hardware using a laptop versus, say, your phone?
I don't know if there's a difference between the phone and the laptop, but it's definitely more secure than Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So with LTE, like that's like people have tried hacking it for a while now, and it's not like it's unhackable. Like there's been situations where like they use stingrays for stuff like that,
Sure.
but that's not something that like an average person can get their hands on.
Right.
Whereas an average person could definitely like breach like your Wi-Fi if it's not that secure. So yeah, LTE is definitely much more secure for something like that. As far as like the difference between like a laptop and your phone goes, I would have to say it depends on like what like version of like security. Like if you have an old Android phone and you're using LTE on it, that might not be
that's
like,
true.
the best.
That's a good point.
Like,
Yeah.
They don't need like it doesn't matter what like version you're on, kind of
And it's less about the connection to the internet, and more the phone software.
Yeah, exactly.
Itself, right?
Yeah, if you like
phone or the
download
laptop.
a bad app, like it doesn't matter if you're using LTE or Wi-Fi,
Right.
like you're gonna get breached.
Yeah, exactly.
So for a closing thought, I like this comment from Danny Green. I want a car like George Jetson that folds down into a briefcase size for me to carry.
Oh, yeah.
What features are going to be essential for flying cars that aren't standard in regular cars? I know we all want cup holders and we all want Bluetooth. What is a feature of a flying car that we all need?
Okay, so if normal driving cars have airbags, does that mean that flying cars have like cement bags that come in your face?
Is that how it works?
Yeah,
That's,
no,
uh,
that's totally how it works. They just punch you in the face, basically.
I'm safe.
I think cars need to come standard with parachutes.
Probably GPS.
Yeah.
GPS is probably.
Yes.
Glad you're thinking outside the box
I
here.
know. Wheels, good wheels.
Well,
Just
would it
spin
need
'em-
wheels
It
though?
would just spin,
Okay, so
just a spin.
is a flying car going to fly and drive?
Presumably, yeah, right?
Okay.
Like the boat car.
Like the James Bond car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, the submarine one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
It could do all of the above. It wasn't just like a car underwater. This isn't just a car for the sky.
Right.
It's a car that can take off as well.
Yes. You could drive it on regular roads, and then when you don't need the roads, you don't have the roads.
Also,
Take
that
off.
that Jetson car that fits into a briefcase, like
How heavy
I
would
don't-
that? How
I
heavy
don't
would that
even need.
briefcase
I don't
be?
even need that car to be flying. Just if there was a normal car that would do
That
that,
folded into a
I'd be
briefcase.
perfectly okay with that.
But again, how heavy would that briefcase be if you really think it through? Like, even if it folds
Well-
down, it still has the same kind of mass weight, right?
But let's think about it. When
yeah,
it
but then
comes
think
to
about parking space. Like,
True.
you wouldn't even need to carry it.
so
You're right.
inherently, those Porsche sports cars are typically lighter. They have more. What is it? Fiberglass in the frame or something?
Sure. Let's say that.
I don't.
We're car
again,
people.
I don't know anything about cars, but I think that's kind of part of what makes a sport car. Sport car is
Right.
it's lighter.
Lighter
motor.
It
materials,
plays
yeah.
basketball.
Okay, so to get that thing off the ground, they're probably going to have to re-engineer that to be even lighter.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you can palm a Porsche, but I think they're going to have to bring that into consideration. So,
Okay.
flying cars are probably going to be lighter than regular
They
cars.
will be, but I don't
I
think.
don't know. That
I don't
seems
think
like
you'll
a
be
very,
able to lift the
I mean,
car
the
yourself.
the Wakanda government was able to make a flying ship with like vibranium. So I think.
Yeah, but that wasn't a light ship. It
Yeah,
wasn't light. It was still heavy.
Yeah, but it was able to take off and like get around. So
Right. Right. That's fact.
Yeah.
That's real.
This is a real country.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody think up your wish list for flying cars. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about this again soon, I'm sure. But until then, we are out of time for the day.
Rice cooker. No. Go on.
But being that we are in New York and there is the mother of all storms
Yeah.
coming, there is a very good chance we might not broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we might not be able to get here to the studio.
Although maybe we will. Maybe we'll like trek our way in and just do another like 80s movies random podcast. It'll be weird if we do one.
yeah,
but
'cause
it's
there
a
will
big.
be no news besides like it's snowing.
Yeah, it'll be a big if because it does look like it's gonna be pretty bad. So a lot of folks are not gonna be around.
Yeah, just giving everyone a heads up because
Yep.
we really appreciate you guys sticking around and sticking with us and subscribing and being here every day. But just in case we didn't show up tomorrow, we didn't want you to think we forgot
All right.
because we're stuck in a snowdrift somewhere.
Yep.
So, anyways,
All right. If you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, FeedBurner, Google Play Music, and the Amazon Echo. And you can subscribe and watch us weekday mornings on the CNET Periscope, livestream, and YouTube channels. Talk to y'all maybe tomorrow, if not Thursday.
So you
take care, everybody.
Bye all.